Probably say bad things about you.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Bad things are said about me all the time. What? Oh, fine. God, why is everybody's phone going off? We're not that important.
Right?
Anyway.
It's kind of been that week so far, right?
Mm-hmm.
One round of sighs.
Yeah, it's later in the afternoon and we're all tired.
It hasn't been a bad week, but man, like days are so long.
Mm-hmm.
So
well, I was in
long.
Vegas for the weekend with the morning show.
And it was hot, right?
It was hella hot.
Yeah.
We got there, it was 108 degrees. And I'm like, but it's a dry heat. And then I still got slapped.
The thing is, the dry heat just doesn't matter. Like ovens are also a dry heat. Like, I mean,
I think it does matter. If you were to go from West Palm Beach, Florida at 85 degrees and 80% humidity to Las Vegas, Nevada, 110 degrees with no humidity, you're going to prefer Nevada.
They're both
in a heartbeat.
miserable.
Oh, they're
though.
terrible.
Like, I mean, like people always say, like, it's because living in Utah, people, it's a dry heat. It's 104. I'm like, yeah, but it still like sucks every ounce of water out of your body. Mm-hmm. It still sunburns you the minute you step outside. Mm-hmm. It makes everything miserable. Your house is hot, your car is hot, butt
is hot.
Oh, everything is hot. So, like, yeah, it's a dry heat, but it still sucks.
Honestly, I enjoyed the 108-degree weather in Spokane for Hoop Fest.
You're dumb and gross.
I drank a lot of water and a lot of Gatorade because it has electrolytes, and that's what plants crave.
Smart water also has electrolytes.
Yeah.
Do plants crave that too?
He just said they do.
Yeah.
I don't
I'm sure
know.
it would work.
Wait, have you never seen Idiocracy?
No.
Electrolytes are
Do
what
that
plants
tonight.
crave.
Why?
Because you live in that world now. Trust me. Just trust
It's
me.
what plants crave.
It's what plants crave.
Plants crave electrolytes?
You've got to.
He doesn't get it.
I don't get it.
See the movie.
I don't think that's true.
It's 100% not true.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Go watch the movie.
This makes okay.
Do it. Like,
Okay.
Literally tonight. You'll love it. You'll love every
Well, I
second
have things
of
to
it.
do tonight. I know.
Stay up late.
Hi, my name is Adam West.
I'm Cliff Johnson.
Dylan.
What?
Dylan.
With gusto.
Dylan.
Bite Me Podcast, episode
36.
36.
Ah.
3 dozens.
Oh, that is 3 dozens.
Oh.
Fun.
But they're not baker's dozens.
No, not yet.
2 18-packs.
Yeah,
That's a stretch.
That's way better.
That's a stretch.
That's way better.
Yeah, you like things in 2s?
Basically.
Or things in 18s?
Yes, that too.
Both.
Yeah.
At least 18.
At least 18, minimum. What are you talking about this week, Adam?
Well, obviously not that bad joke.
Not that.
Yeah, welcome to the Bite Me Podcast, episode 36. What we are talking about this week. We'll talk about what we're playing, which I didn't play. Oh, well, that's a lie. I need to change that. Because I changed more than that. I played more than that. Anyway, couple of other housekeeping notes again. I think we just need to do housekeeping every week.
Housekeeping.
Like we actually own a house.
Just for
You're
that.
going to get 2 of those
You
this
own
week.
a house?
I do own a house.
I don't own a house.
We have a housekeeper every 2 weeks.
Oh, that's nice.
It's because we're 2 dudes and we're very, very lazy. With a giant dog that sheds, and we're still wondering why she still has fur with the amount of fur that comes off of her, and a cat that's basically 2 cats if you include the amount of fur that comes off of her.
Yeah.
So we got a housekeeper, and it's been the best thing ever.
Right.
Because 2 boys living together,
doesn't
we're
work.
dirty. It's gross.
When I
We're
started
dudes.
paying someone to mow my lawn, it was like the greatest thing in the entire world.
See, and I was paying people. We were paying people.
And then they screwed it up.
They screwed it up the first time. The guy jacked my yard up. So I was like, you're fired. And then I took care of my own lawn for a while and realized that was dumb. And then we hired another group of fellows that had a better business bureau rating of great and all that crap.
Nice.
And they sucked.
Yeah.
They charged me for something they didn't do and never got back to me. So
Yeah. My guy's awesome. Love him.
we should talk.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's housekeeping. We've got some news stuff. Epic's new game, Fortnite. They're going to be trying something new when it comes to a free-to-play game. We'll talk about that. The SNES Classic. There were pre-orders up for this?
Yeah, kind of.
I guess
They
I
came and they went.
Yeah.
literally in the blink of an eye.
That's actually the story.
Okay. I had no idea until I saw the notes.
Yeah.
Xbox One X, are pre-orders coming soon? We don't know. We will talk about that. Vinny's got a question for us. Kevin, who is a delight, also has a question for us. Kevin's awesome.
Yeah, so is Vinny.
Vinny's okay.
All our friends are awesome.
Vinny's cool when he gives me free stuff.
Oh, man, I misspelled Vinny's name in our show notes again.
But yeah, Kevin's fun. Playing Destiny with him was a trip. Like, he's a blast.
Nice.
He's a lot of fun. We'll go over your cheap free games this week, Xbox games with gold. And I'm glad we didn't record yesterday because today we found out PlayStation Plus stuff for next month. And also, a Humble Bundle.
Mm-hmm. Good one.
With
it's
what
a real good one.
Oh, man. That makes me very excited.
Yeah.
So there's that.
Who played first?
Well, I'll go first.
Perfect.
Since I said I didn't play a lot. That's a lie. So like I said, I went to Vegas this weekend with one of our radio stations here, their morning show. They do a big thing in Vegas, and I finally got to go. And on the plane, I was like, do I play Alto's Adventure, which I could play till the end of time?
Right.
Or should I pick up my 3DS that I made sure to bring along with me and play a game there? So I did that. And instead of playing Zelda Ocarina of Time, which I have, I played Castlevania Mirror of Fate.
That's cool. Is that a new one? New-ish
No,
one?
it is not new-ish, about 4 years ago.
Sure.
4 or 5 years, I guess. And it's okay. They stuck with the whole Metroidvania theme, obviously, through the years in their 2D games.
Sure.
And it's exactly what you would think it is out of a Castlevania game since they've stuck with that formula. Graphically, it's all right. Story-wise, it's kind of convoluted. The gameplay mechanics are a little janky, but I'm guessing that's just because it's a 5-year-old game on a portable system. But if you're a Castlevania fan, it's worth it.
Yeah.
What can you do?
I really want to go
Just
back
play
and
it.
play, like, some of the, like, maybe Super Nintendo or Nintendo Castlevanias, because I remember those so... just loving those games, and like literally don't remember anything about it except that you're like a guy hunting vampires and you have a cool whip thing. Like,
well,
that's...
I want to say the first 3 games on the NES, they were kind of like a weird action RPG hybrid-y kind of thing.
Yeah.
I think.
And that's the thing is, I just like you say that, and I'm like, sure, that sounds.
But then there was
real
Super
possible.
Castlevania or Super Castlevania 4.
Yeah.
When it came out on the SNES, and it was just a straight up action platformer, and that is
the one?
That's my favorite of that era.
Nice.
Of that era, and then once things went better, like PlayStation. Symphony of the Night is my all-time favorite Castlevania game.
I need to like get back into that lore a little bit because I just there's games you look back of when you were played as kids, and I remember loving it. I remember absolutely adoring it, and remember nothing past that. I don't even know which one I've played.
I just realized why I was drawn to Castlevania Mirror of Fate because I already owned it.
Yeah.
But I watched the Castlevania anime on Netflix. Did either of you watch it?
I've watched the first episode. I still haven't
Did you watch the whole thing?
Yeah.
What'd you think?
It's 4 episodes. It's hard to really form much of an opinion about it.
Yeah. I liked what I saw. I'm not a big fan of the animation, but that's okay.
I'm not a big anime.
I'm just not a big anime fan.
Oh, really?
So that animation style doesn't really do much for me.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's okay. I mean,
I find that the anime style has always been like when I was growing up. I'm like, I don't understand. Why does it look this way? And then, of course, I realized what it is.
Yeah.
And then I've seen Naruto, Bleach.
There's a few shows I've liked.
Yeah, I like
Bleach is fun. I like
the idea of it. I just think like the animation to me is kind of ugly. A lot of it looks like really low frame rate and weird.
Well, to me, something
we talked about it when you weren't here, when you were too good and you were working.
Oh,
That's all right.
my bad.
I know, right?
I'm sorry. I was paying bills.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, it was. I liked the story though. I just I need to finish it out. We'll get there.
I was gonna say I don't know. To me, Castlevania was. Maybe it was just based on the subject matter of it. I would have preferred a little bit more realism, I guess. I don't know if that's necessarily
or more like true to the story,
Yeah, I don't know. And the anime style to me, I enjoy more when it's in a more fun atmosphere, like Pokemon or something, right?
Right.
It just seems a little.
Would it like
brighter.
Miyazaki maybe?
Yeah, maybe something like that. But the really dark tone and the gore and the. I mean, it works really well with an anime too, but I'm just not.
I guess I think the thing is I don't know what I'd want it to look like instead.
I don't know.
I mean, like Pixar would not do that well either.
I don't know what I'm expecting it to look like, but
it's all right.
It was fun.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to more. I mean,
oh yeah,
cool.
Well they renewed it for a second season. I think they got 6 or 8 episodes, doubled it. Okay, and also I played some Destiny 2.
Yeah, I did too, and you did too.
I did not.
Oh,
I never played the
you never played
beta.
the new one? Oh,
No.
that's so sad. Well, we'll talk about it.
Download it.
Yeah.
That's a big download.
It's 13 gigs. Don't be a
Why?
wuss.
I also, you guys made me play Destiny, so I had to download that. Now it took forever. So it's like exactly what I'm going to do is spend that much more time downloading another game and trying
Literally,
to play it.
the other day, me and my kid and my brother wanted to play it, so we just downloaded it. You know, I just downloaded it again on my Xbox so we could play it together. So yeah, it's 13 gigs. It's no big deal.
Oh, that's not that big. I thought it would be bigger.
No, it's 13.
Destiny
no big
2.
deal. Yeah. I enjoyed the crap out of that game.
I loved it.
Yeah, I finally beat the strike.
Yeah,
me and my brother and my kid actually did it. Like the weird, like the group you would not think would, and we never wiped on the end guy. We beat it first try.
How did you do that?
I mean, most of it's probably because my brother's really, 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 really good. But it actually ended up being like, so if you've played this, if you haven't, sorry.
you're going to play
out.
it eventually.
You know, you get to the final boss of the strike, and you know he falls. You fight him for a little while, and he like drops out the ground underneath you, and you fall, and then he drops out the ground underneath you, and you fall again. And so it's this big, long kind of tiered approach. And then you get to the bottom, and you shoot him up a bunch, and he's pretty easy on the bottom until you like shoot him after like his arm falls off,
like
or
his head
falls off, or his head falls
like
off. Something
he literally
yeah.
loses his head, and he just starts charging.
Kind of like the goblins do. You can shoot them, and their bodies keep going.
Yeah,
and he goes hyper aggro, and that's where I died every single time I fought him.
Mm-hmm.
And we stayed alive like a little past that. We're doing pretty well, but then like in 2 seconds, I wiped and my brother wiped. So the only person left alive is my 9-year-old kid, and we're like. And he's not close enough to res either. So we're like, just
keep running.
Jump
Just
around. And my kid literally for 20, 30 seconds, whatever the respawn time is, just like hopped around and stayed alive until we could come back. And then we killed him 15 seconds later. So like,
wow.
Like the answer is my brother's real good, but my kid actually was the one that kind of like managed to stay alive and pull us through. So I don't know. There's a lot of people complaining about it that, you know, it's just more of the same. It's just DLC and blah, 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 whatever. But man, I had such a great time, and I am 100% happy to pay $90 for that in a couple months. I cannot wait.
People have been playing World of Warcraft for like 10 years.
Yeah.
Like, I don't... That
have dropped thousands of dollars.
That complaint doesn't make sense to me.
I mean, to me, like, I guess in a perfect world, maybe Destiny would have been done more in a World of Warcraft style where you have Destiny and then, you know, once a year, whatever, you get a big $40 DLC that just comes out, and there's no.
If they didn't slap a 2 on it, and no one would be complaining.
Yeah, but I mean, when you look at kind of the development of Destiny, like they kind of needed a Destiny 2. They needed a.
They figured it out, and now they're gonna reboot it.
You know, there's engine upgrades. You know, there's a bunch of new stuff, and it kind of makes sense that Destiny 1 was rocky. It had kind of a rocky launch. It had like there's things you can read about like the development of Destiny. That game got made effectively in like a year and a half. That was supposed to be a like 4-year game. They got way into development. They're like, here's what we're going to build. And everyone said, we hate that. And so they literally scratched a ton of it or pulled a bunch of it into Rise of Iron. And that's why the story feels kind of weird, is because they like cobbled that story together in, no time. And, normally you have a big design document that kind of shows you what you're going to do. And they didn't have that for Destiny. So, I mean, the fact that it kind of came out and worked at all is kind of a miracle. And so I think that Destiny 2 is just kind of hey, this is done
hey
now.
Guys,
we know
this is
what
we meant to do.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it sucks that, that kind of lands on our shoulders, but it's so good. And I've enjoyed Destiny 1 so much that I just love the idea of it. I love getting in and playing with friends. I'm super excited about being able to play raids and strikes with people. So,
I've still never done a raid.
Yeah, no, I haven't either. I'm hoping.
I'm not looking forward to doing a raid.
We've got a bunch. I'm super excited about it. We've got a bunch of people. Like I started over my character, so I've got we started level 1, and my brother started level 1, and Kevin that we were talking about started. Vinny started level 1, and so we're hoping that we can all get to level 40 on these new characters.
All on Xbox.
And we're all on Xbox, and then actually do a raid before Destiny 2 comes out. So
nice.
We'll see how it goes.
You've got time. Ish.
Yeah.
Because it's out
2 months?
A month?
September 7th, I want to say.
All right, so a month and a half.
Yeah, month and a half. So we'll see.
All right.
We will see.
That's fun.
So that's what you did. I played that. I played Destiny 2 and a bunch of Destiny 1. So, but I started this morning, I sat down I want to play something different because I haven't played anything different in a long time. So I actually booted up Transistor.
Okay. That was one of the ones Steam sale
Yeah, I think
games,
we
right?
both bought it actually. And it's made by...
Bastion?
Yeah, it's made by the same people that made Bastion. It's made by the same people that actually just put out Pyre. Pyre came out, I want to say, yesterday, day before. And and which is kind of it's Super Giant Games, which is kind of why Transistor is on my mind. Like I really want to play Pyre, but I don't own it, so I thought I'd play Transistor. That game is really, really interesting. I bought it just kind of like, oh hey, I love Bastion, I'm sure I'll love Transistor, and I've only played maybe 20 or 30 minutes of it, but it's really cool. You start out the game and you're this girl, and she like, there's this guy with this huge sword, like Cloud, huge sword sticking out of him, and he's like, well, you guess you know what to do, and she like pulls out the sword, and then his like, I don't know, soul or essence or whatever it actually kind of lives inside the sword, and that becomes your like attacks. And so you'll find other like dead people along the way, and you like absorb them into your sword, and that's how you get different attacks in the games. You can play it real time or turn based, and so if it's real time, it's really, really frantic. But then you can like at any time pull the left trigger, and you have all these different types of attacks you can move a certain number of spaces and do an attack, and then move somewhere else and do an attack, and then maybe you've got a special move that'll make you move really fast, and then you can do another special attack, and then you pull the right trigger and it executes all those things, and then you have to wait for your like timer bar to refill, and it's really, really, really unique. It's got just a gorgeous kind of hand drawn aesthetic, and it feels very like kind of neo like coder hacker kind of thing. Like I'm not far enough into it to really get what the story is talking about yet, but it's really, really, really unique, and it's apparently only like 6 hours long.
Okay.
So like I think I'll probably play through it and try. It's fun. It's very different than anything I've played, so I'm excited about that.
Nice.
Yeah. How about you?
Yeah, because I bought it and I never played it.
And that's the thing. I paid like $3 for it. It's normally like a $20 game, and I got it for super cheap just because I loved Bastion and thought we'd give this a go. So
cool.
Check that out if you've got a PC.
Well, I'll talk about Destiny real quick since we already talked about that a little
Yeah.
bit, but I won't spend too much time. But I was finally convinced to give this game another shot, so I got the complete edition.
Yeah,
so I got all the DLC
Taken
or
King,
whatever,
everything
so
except the Rise.
I
Does
could
that include Rise of Iron
it
too?
has everything.
Nice.
And how much was that?
40?
It's $40. There was a sale, so that's a pretty good deal, I think, for the amount of content you're getting. But I'm having a lot of fun with this game. I can't say how it's really different from when I tried it the first time and didn't really enjoy it, but I'm having a lot of fun with it. I definitely think part of that is having people to play with, because we have a community that's really drawn to getting this game under their belt before Destiny 2 comes out. So I didn't even need to play the Destiny 2 beta. I'll pick it up when it comes out, just based on playing Destiny, because I think it's going to be more of a good thing that I haven't already submerged myself in, because I'm just kind of experiencing that for the first time now. Story-wise, I have no clue what it's about. The time
I don't think anybody does.
The time in between the cutscenes, and I'm like, I don't even remember the last one.
Right.
And these cutscenes are wacky. Why is this person blue-gray? I don't know
Those are
what's
aliens,
going on.
different races.
Yeah, I'm sure, but they're all anthropomorphic and humanoid, so...
except the ones that are robots. I mean, they're still humanoid, but they're robots.
Yeah.
I think, can we say that too? Like, I think the thing that makes that game is Nathan Fillion. Like, every time he has a cutscene, I'm like, oh, it's amazing.
So I just totally tune those out,
Yeah.
and just get back to the gameplay. Yeah. So I could care less about the story.
I actually kind of dug into that the other day. I was really hoping, because a lot of games have done that. Like, Halo's done it, and Mass Effect has done it, and Overwatch has done it, where there's books or comic books or something that like could help you piece together what the heck's happening. I mean, I think Mass Effect had 4 books or 6 books, and there's been a bunch of Halo books, and I think it would just be really cool to be able to like the story's compelling. Like, I'm interested in what's going on. I just have a really hard time patching it together, and I don't want to go read Grimoire cards.
Right. And that's exactly it. It's just, to me, the cutscenes are time that I'm not playing the game, and I would much rather just play the game. Which I really respect Overwatch even more after this, because they don't have any story present in that game, and you just go read some comics and kind of learn more about the characters, and that's perfectly satisfying for me.
See, that would be a great... I would love to see games go that way, where we're just like, okay, so here's, 10 hours of gameplay, just beat the crap out of things, and by the way, make sure you read the comic if you want to understand what's going on.
And I mean, I think it just depends on the game, but like for a shooter, like, I mean, you have to have a story, you have to have some reason why you're doing these things, and I mean, Destiny obviously is just, there was I mean, the basic story is that humans gained access to interstellar travel by the Traveler, I think, actually coming and talking to you, and then he speaks through the speaker, who is Bill Nye does the voice for him. So
Oh yeah. Okay.
and and the unfortunate side effect was that it pulled in this darkness. They had a couple hundred years of greatness, and having the space travel and so on and so forth, and then the darkness came following the traveler, and that's who you're fighting. So I mean, I think overall, yeah, it's a good versus evil story, and you're the good and you're fighting the evil.
I'm amazed you picked up on all that.
Yeah, I actually, if you, it's because I started a new character, and if you watch the opening cutscene, it tells you that.
I think I skipped that one.
Yeah.
I've watched it. I just didn't pay that close of attention to it. Yeah. Okay.
And probably the only reason I noticed is I just watched it like 4 days ago.
Gotcha.
So it's good.
One last thing, though, is why I think I'm enjoying this game so much is that it gave me one of those moments I don't know if I've had in video games a lot. And it comes when you're playing with people, I think. But I was playing with Kevin, and we're like, I'm going to call him Big Meanie. He was like the big end boss. I don't remember what wacky alien name he had, but I'm just going to call him Big Meanie. But he was real mean and
big.
And we're like whittling this guy's health down and getting it down, but he would just nuke you with some explosive aura of energy and just blow, and then like one of us would die, and it was one of those things where you didn't have time to run over there, so it's like, just survive, and then you'd be like running around, and the moment I would respawn, Kevin would get blasted, and then I would run over there, and I would barely get him healed, and then I would explode, and he would run over somewhere else.
The sense of urgency in the game.
And then we like both low on health, so we're like, what are we gonna do? And I tried to like escape down this hallway, and then there was this smaller meanie, and he was invincible and didn't allow you to go back down the hallway to hide. So it's like, oh no, I gotta turn around. I get blasted. So Kevin's over here, like he barely survives, and then he comes and revives me, and then he just kamikazes in and just suicide dive, just got blown up again, but was able to put the last bit of damage on the character and beat him and respawn, and it was great.
Yeah,
it's fun.
Yeah,
I think the difficulty level of Destiny is almost perfect across the board. Like I always feel vaguely challenged, but like powerful enough that I can do cool things. And like I'm not great at this kind of game. Like I mean, I go into the Crucible and I'm last place every time. So I'm not good at it, but the game lets me feel like I'm good at it. Like there's just nothing better than, that feeling of like scrambling to defeat a boss. Like, you're dying and you're healing people and you're helping people and you're finding, oh God, I just got a grenade, and you chuck your grenade in and, you blow up 4 guys, or, I just got my super and your super lets you take someone down. It just, the entire thing just feels very cohesive, and I've really enjoyed playing too.
An experience you can only have when playing with people too.
Yep. Oh yeah.
So I think that you really have to play this game with people. You're just going to have
100%.
such a better time.
Yeah, so the thing that I'm wondering about is so in the first Destiny, I remember playing a lot of that by myself and not really having to have somebody there to play with to get through some stuff, or most of the stuff,
Yeah.
So I'm worried with how difficult that strike was in Destiny 2. Like, is it going to be a requirement that you have to have other people? Because I don't always play with other people, and I still managed to get through a lot of stuff on my own in Destiny.
Yeah. I've played Destiny myself a couple times now, and I just don't enjoy it. So I mean, maybe I think the real problem with Destiny by yourself is that you just get one try, you know, like
right,
and that's the hard part, And I mean, buddy of mine sent me a video the other day showing a guy soloing that strike. So I mean, it's possible, but I don't think I'm ever going to be that good. I know my brother tried it. I don't think he didn't say he beat it, so I don't think he did.
Yeah. Anyway, moving on.
From our Destiny
finally
podcast.
moving on from the Destiny cast. Continuing my Overwatch career, finally moving up, and I got into silver finally, which is kind of embarrassing because I shouldn't.
Yeah, but still,
I shouldn't have ever been in bronze. But I got placed like real low. I got like disconnected from so many placement matches, and maybe it's just I'm a scrub, but I'm gonna blame it on.
Yeah, no, always blame it on something else.
Everyone who plays competitive knows, like, getting out of bronze and then silver is the hardest thing ever because you're playing with a bunch of people that don't
it's just
care,
hard.
don't understand the game, and Hanzo main.
Yep.
And as funny as that is, but it's the truth. But I finally have gone on a winning streak, and I'm just trying to spread out my skills in the game, like learning how to be a better healer, how to be a better tank, so learning other characters, and that's helped me be versatile. So when we don't have someone that's gun healer, I'll play Lucio, who is just such a troll in that game, and it's awesome, but so much fun. So I've been able to kind of carry some games in other roles where I wasn't excelling in before, and that's how you rank up, right? You have to be able to lift your team up and not bring them down. So
Definitely.
that's been fun. I'm pushing trophies in Clash Royale 2 as well. Not 2, it's not a sequel. I'm like 2 wins away from 2,000.
Nice.
And I feel like I'm doing pretty good for like just over a week of playing this game. I don't know how that really compares to anyone else playing this game, but
Wait, you've won 2,000?
So when you win, you get approximately 30 trophies.
Okay, I was like, you've played 2,000 games? Holy crap.
It barely works anymore.
You get about 30 trophies, and then when you lose, you can lose up to almost 30. But depending on how high your rank is, you lose more. So at the rank I am, you lose about 25. So as long as I keep winning and losing, I'll eventually get there, but you get up a lot faster when you actually just win. But I have won a lot more games than I have lost, so I have been ranking up pretty quick compared to the amount of time I'm playing. I don't know how that compares to other people. I really do want to take this further. I have a buddy who plays in the 3,000 to 4,000 trophy range, which is where I feel like I would be happy if I could get that okay at this game. I really enjoy this game because I think it's every like 300 trophies at this level. The number changes throughout, but right now, once I hit 2,000, that unlocks a new group of cards that you acquire, which means now the meta shifts. So every time you get into a new arena, certain decks are now viable. Or they change because you now have to counter different cards that weren't in that previous arena. So rather than them releasing an expansion and the meta shifts, every tier that you move up, the meta kind of shifts. Of course, there's a lot of flexibility. Like the one deck I've been using has gotten me really far. It's just very balanced. I gravitate towards balanced things that aren't one-trick pony but so that's a lot of fun.
No, I think that's really cool.
For a mobile game, it's great, and I'm able to play it in situations where I don't have my system, my bigger system.
We had a fire drill the other day, and we all had to wander downside. And
That's so annoying.
I find Dylan. I'm like, "What are you doing tonight?" It's like, "Oh, you're playing your little Clash game."
I'm winning. And then I picked up Splatoon 2 on Friday.
And how's that?
Is incredible.
Yeah.
I'm kind of sad I never played the first Splatoon, but I'm also kind of excited because now I'm just very enthusiastic about this game now that it's out. It's a lot of fun. And I picked up a Pro controller, which made the experience a little bit better.
Yeah, I'm going to get one of those.
A little bit better, not way better?
Way better.
Oh, okay.
Super better. And I haven't touched one yet, and it feels great.
That's fantastic.
I still barely prefer the Xbox controller, and I've learned that it's just the way the controller sits in your hand and the way it positions my thumbs on the buttons. An Xbox controller still takes the cake, but it's very comfortable. It's very enjoyable. Splatoon 2 is great. I'm playing the single player, which is totally wacky, but it's a lot of fun. But that's how you unlock the different weapons.
Right.
So
yeah, I think I'm going to try and beat. I have Rhyme rented from GameFly, and I think I'm going to try and beat Rhyme this week and send that back and get Splatoon 2.
Definitely.
How is Rhyme?
Oh, Rhyme's phenomenal.
Is it worth the price of admission if you were to buy it?
Oh, yeah. It's super. It's not super long. It's about 6 hours, and it's all like there's no dialogue. There's kind of a story kind of woven through it, but it's all just puzzles.
Is it out on the Switch yet?
No, it's coming out soon.
What the actual
But
F?
it's on PlayStation 4. PlayStation 4, I think, even has a 4K patch, I want to say. I know Xbox X will. But it's going to be great on the Switch. It's just, it's super fun. And it's just all environment puzzles. And there's a cute little fox, and I love it.
And you're in love with it.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Cool.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to play Splatoon 2 more, and I'll report back when I have them.
If I can pick that up.
It's only been out since Friday, so
hopefully I can pick that up. We could team up and get our squid adapters
maybe
or something.
I'll get it.
Yeah, we can get our squids on.
Do we need 2 squid adapters then?
We tangle our squids.
Perfect. That sounds gross. Anyway.
Yeah, I highly recommend it. So, yeah, let's get Splatoon.
Have you got the squid adapter?
No.
Oh, okay. Not yet.
But I would really love to play this with somebody.
Nice.
I'm really excited about it.
We'll see what we can do.
All right, a little bit of housekeeping. Once again, if you're listening to us on the Google Play or the iTunes, make sure you give us a little like on the podcast. Give us a little rating.
That'd be great.
A subscribe, a follow.
Makes us happy.
Yeah.
You want to make me happy, right? Anyway.
So anyway, if you could do that for us, that would be lovely.
Mm-hmm. We love feedback, too. So.
Yeah. We what?
We love feedback.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
well, as long as it's good.
Yeah.
And if it's not 100% good,
We can
hear
take
it.
constructive
I'll
criticism.
take an 80.
I'm all about the let's see what do people want to
strive for
hear?
perfection.
Yeah.
But sometimes you don't know
at
what
this
you're
point in
doing
time,
wrong. How do you fix that?
At this
do
time, it's probably
everything.
talk about Destiny less.
Yeah.
You know, right? Destiny and Switch.
That game's
shut up.
old.
So yeah, if you're listening on iTunes or Google Play, please listen to our plea and rate us and like us.
Please.
And also, feel free to join us in our Discord chat. It's a lot of fun. It's very lively discussion going on all the time.
Yeah.
It's a good place to find people to. If you're looking for people to play a game with, like you'll find someone in there that wants to play that game, and everyone's real nice. So
Yeah, we haven't had a single bad kind of
everyone's real cool.
turd.
Yeah. And more, I just also want to just kind of talk about what Discord is, too, because a couple of people have kind of hit me, but like, what is this thing?
Aside from that feeling between us three.
Exactly. It's an app you can download, and it's on your phone, or there's like a Windows version or a Mac
Desktop
version.
app.
I think there's even a web version, too, if you don't want to actually download an app. You can do
That's
it
what
in
I
a
use
browser.
here at the station.
Yeah, and it lets you do two things. One is like you can join our chat channel, and to do that, just go to bitemepodcast.com, and in the upper left, there's 4 little icons, and one's Facebook, one's Twitter, one's YouTube, and the one that you don't recognize looks like a little game controller. That's Discord. And so download the app and then click that icon, and it'll take you to our channel, and then you just can chat with us. It's just like any other chat, Facebook Messenger, any of those things that you're used to just chatting. And we're there, I mean, a lot. I get a push
It's always
notification.
open. It's always open. So
But we're there. Dylan and I are there almost all day. I'm there a lot at night. Adam's on a lot at night. But if you want to talk to Kevin, who asks us questions all the time, he's there. If you want to ask Vinny a question as opposed to Vinny asking us a question, Vinny's there all the time. There's just a bunch of other real cool people too. I mean, there's a bunch of people in there that are real fun. And sometimes it's empty and no one's talking, and sometimes they're talking so much that you can't get an edge.
even follow it.
And we talk about games, and we talk about stuff that aren't games. My brother's there too, so there's a lot of cool people to talk to. But don't feel pressure to like, oh my gosh, this is some weird thing that there's like some barrier to entry. Just come out, hang out for a while if you want to get kind of the feel for it. You can just lurk if you want. That's cool. But it also lets us, there's a voice chat part of it too. So when we're playing Rocket League and we all get together, you can hook into the voice part of it, and then we can all talk to each other too.
It's real easy. It's a real easy to use app. I know it's very popular among gamers as using it as a chat app for their game rather than in-game chats or whatever.
I want to say that Discord itself, the app itself, is only like a year and a half old.
It's super new.
It's a super new app, and
it's real polished.
Crazy.
But it's super easy, and like I said, it's not, don't be scared. Don't, like, a couple people come in and they're like, I just hope I don't, like disrupt anything. It's like, no, come in, be friendly, and that's all we ask. So
it's all about just building a community of people that want to play games and want nice people to play games with. So
and see,
it's great for that.
That's kind of the cool thing about that too. Like when it comes to the Switch, like interactivity, like you can play with the audio on the TV, and you can get into the audio chat on Discord on your phone.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you don't have to have
really
some weird
convenient.
squid adapter.
Yeah. So, come hang out with us. Just because it's fun, and like I said, don't be intimidated by it. But if it's not your thing either, that's cool. You can always hit us up on Facebook and Twitter and that kind of stuff too. But Discord's fun, so I just wanted to kind of let people know what it was and why you don't have to be scared of
those
it.
out there that
Don't be scared, but don't be a douche.
Oh yeah, I will kick you if you're mean.
Yeah, it's very, very easy for us to do that. Anyway, all right, moving on to our next segment that we always do after all that stuff.
you mean news.
Definitely
This is
news.
very throaty news.
I liked it.
News.
There you
There
go.
we go.
I was trying out a new.
Was that a new news?
New news. New news.
So let's start off with this. Epic has a new game on the way. It's called Fortnite, and they are trying something new with it. It's a free-to-play game that will be out later
Next year, 2018.
But they're doing a paid early access for a free-to-play game.
Yeah. So if you
It's
want to
basically
play
a crowdfunding kind of thing. Do you think?
Yeah, I don't think so. Just because, I mean, first of all, it's Epic. Like, they're a huge company. They make huge games.
Why then would they do that?
That's the question. I think maybe it's just to see if it works. This game has apparently been in development since like 2011, 2012. They've just been kind of poking at it. And it's, if you're not familiar, go watch the trailers, because the trailers are both actually really look fun.
Yeah.
I've heard the gameplay, like, depending on who you ask, either it's like, oh my gosh, it's so awesome, or like it's kind of boring and repetitive, but whatever. It's kind of like a mix between, I don't know, Minecraft and Left 4 Dead, where you lead.
Fort.
Yeah, you play these kind of like there's been like the backstory is like some sort of cataclysmic event happened and like 90% of people on Earth just disappeared and were replaced by these kind of, I think they're called husks. They're just like kind of Plants vs. Zombies looking zombies. And they attack you. They get spawned by lightning, I want to say. And so you build these huge, huge bases out of, resources and materials and stuff you find and stuff you dig up or whatever, and then defend it against these zombies. And it looks really interesting. But yeah, the kicker is if you want to play it right now, you can totally do it. It's $40, which is cheaper, I guess, than, your regular AAA kind of game. But I'm not sure how down I am to like beta test someone's game after having to pay for it. Like usually this actually works the opposite way where you get early access and then you get a deal, you do, Arc and, Arc's coming out, I think at the end of this month and it's going to be $60 retail. But if you bought it anytime in the last 2.5 years, it was $30
or on sale at some point for even
10
less.
I bought early access of Astroneer and I bought early access of Pit People, and both of those are going to be like $20, $30, $40 games, and I paid 10 or 15 of them for them because I'm helping kind of fund development. But this is kind of the opposite of that, where you're paying a huge premium for a free to play game so you can play it now. I don't know.
What is I'm trying to figure out what this line is in this opening part of the article on Polygon.
Mm-hmm.
Bundles start at $39 and run as high as $150.
I'm sure there's probably just different special editions. And I don't.
So you could buy a $150 version of a free to play game,
right?
Is what you're saying.
But like other free to play games, there are microtransactions.
So I'm sure.
So you're buying some amount of points or something. I'd have to look into it.
Yeah,
but that's kind of, I think that's the direction it is.
Yeah.
That's weird.
I just don't, it's not I guess it's not a bad model, but it's kind of a model that, I don't know, I'm getting a little bit, like, and I say this after playing the crap out of the Destiny beta, but I'm like a little bit bored with the like, oh, hey, if you pre-purchase our game, you can have, beta access. Destiny did it. Battlefront's doing it. Like, couldn't we just, at what point
couldn't you just beta test it on your own
right,
dime?
when does a beta test become a marketing tool? When does a beta test become something that gets
that's
people
valuable for you?
And
that's what's
that you're
weird.
driving pre-purchases. I think like when I worked software, etc., pre-purchases were a thing that they were kind of a new thing, but it was a thing that they pushed really, really hard. And the reason, quote unquote, we pushed pre-purchase in the late 90s, early 2000s was because it was how we found out what people wanted. And so, if you didn't pre-purchase a game, legit, you might not be able to buy it because, if 5 people pre-purchase this and they only send us 5, like that 6th person who didn't pre-purchase was kind of out of luck. And so pre-purchases were a little less BS then, especially for smaller games that maybe didn't have a huge following. But, like nowadays, pre-purchases are 100% marketing because there's with digital distribution, you're never going to run into the problem of
this game's not on the shelf.
Not isn't on the shelf, like it's always going to be able to be downloaded. So pre-purchases really only exist for you to give away some of your money to someone else, with the exception is, you buy it from Amazon. No, you don't pay beforehand. But, a lot of time it's literally just a way for them to get a piece of you without you being able to see reviews, without you being able to see, if this game's coming out or when this game's coming out. So, like, I'm generally speaking not a big pre-purchaser. Like, I know, Adam, you buy it, you pre-purchase a lot of things.
I'm like, it's shiny. I need to have it. I don't know what it is.
And I'm like the opposite, where I'm like, I want to see some stuff on this before I plunk $60 down for it. So, like, I'm not super huge on this idea of using pre-release things in order to sell pre-purchases, and like this is just wacky. I don't get it at all. But like I said, it looks really fun. And if it plays as good as the trailer does, there's a limited $150 limited edition and a $90 super deluxe edition. So I think I'm gonna hang off Fortnite until I can play it for free next year.
The thing is, I really want to play this though. Like, it looks interesting, but it's like I'm not going to pay to test it.
Right.
Like, that does seem weird.
Well, and it's been a little shaky from what I understand too. So
then
I just understand why they didn't go standard early access.
Yeah.
So then let's talk about that. So it's like you're not a big pre-order or pre-purchaser ahead of time before it comes out because you want to see la 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 la. Have you ever kickstarted a game? Have you ever bought a game in early access? Because it's not the same because Fortnite's obviously going to be a free-to-play game. But there are certain games where you have paid to have access to an unfinished game.
The only one that but to me that's a little bit different too.
It is, but it's still along the same lines of you're paying for something you don't know if it's ever going to get a final release.
Yep. Yeah, and
you don't know.
I kickstarted, or I actually did. I used Fig, and I kickstarted. I'm a huge Kevin Smith fan, and there's a Jay and Silent Bob game that's in development. Did you ever see Clerks 2?
Yes.
So you know the super nerdy guy who
Vaguely.
works at the store.
Yeah.
He actually hooked up with another guy and they're making a video game. But apparently they both have some background in it. And so, I gave them $20 maybe 6-8 months ago. And, I've been getting the updates. We'll see how it goes.
Do you get any early access to the game itself?
I might. Or? I don't know. I also kickstarted Mages of Mystralia.
Okay.
Only, partially because the game's awesome and I've really enjoyed what I've played of it so far. But they also they hooked me up with a free ticket to PAX last year.
Oh, nice.
So, I'm that's the least I can do.
Right.
But... one thing I did want to talk about, though, I guess that's the question. Have you guys ever kickstarted it or early accessed? Or I early access a lot of things. Not a ton, but a handful.
Not really. But can I say two things about before we
get on to the Fortnite?
Next,
please.
I guess, I don't know, because I haven't read everything about this, but I think part of the problem is just saying, hey, this is a way we are kickstarting this game. If they had just said that,
right,
then that makes sense.
Yep.
Okay, if you want people that think this game looks cool are willing to pay you $40 so you can make sure this game gets through development and becomes a free-to-play game, awesome. That's great. But there is some amount of unknown here.
And I just don't think that's what's happening either. I think it's literally... they just kind of wanted to get this game out and start making some money off it because like I said, Epic's a huge company. Not only do they make a lot of games, but they're also the people that make the Unreal Engine. So, they've got every single developer who makes a game in Unreal, they give a portion of that money to Epic and, so they're not, I don't think they're hurting.
Yeah. So I think that's just kind of what that is. And last of all, kind of along that same line, if you're driving pre-purchases with betas and stuff, that makes a grand assumption that your game is that valuable, that people are willing to pay to test the game. And to me, I just don't like that. Why would I... No, I will test you and give you the feedback because that should be valuable to you as a developer to be able to put out a game that is worth $60 on the shelf. Yeah. So that's...
Well, it's a little brave, too. That came back and bit Mass Effect Andromeda hard.
Yeah.
That 10 days of early access, that was not kind to them. So, but anyway, I did want to talk a little bit about just different methods of kind of early access kickstarting stuff, just because I think that I've talked to a couple people actually recently that were kind of confused by the difference between
the different
platforms and kind of what one meant versus the other. So just real quick, probably the one people are most familiar with is Kickstarter, and Kickstarter is a fund it or don't fund it decision.
All or nothing.
Yeah. So if they want $100,000 and they get $90,000, they don't get any of that. So if you say I will give you $50 and they fail, that $50 never actually comes out of your account. And if you give them money day one, come day 30, you're never going to touch it. But then if it does fund on day 30, that $50 comes out, and then regardless of whether or not that game ever comes out, they keep your $50. So
as long as they meet the goal, that's all that matters.
Yeah. So,
I'm going to set up a few goals of about $10,000.
Yeah. I think
I could do that.
That's the reality is that, that is a thing. There have been, I don't want to say that there are more Kickstarters that have gotten money and then failed than there are Kickstarters that haven't, but even ones that make a lot of money oftentimes don't they deliver a game and it's not good, or they deliver a game and it's not what they promised, or they delivered a game and it doesn't have all the features, and you don't really have any recourse against them. Like Kickstarter's not a binding contract.
Right.
So, what you're doing is you're saying, I have faith in your ability based on the demo you've showed me or the video you showed me or your pedigree as a developer to trust you with $50 of my dollars or $100 of my dollars or $10 of my dollars. And, I'm hoping on the back end that I get something, and I hope that, I'm going to get my game or my hat or my reward or whatever it is. But it doesn't always happen. So Kickstarter is that. And then I think a lot of people have also seen GoFundMe. And GoFundMe is like, you might not have seen as many games in it, but you probably have seen people with sick pets in it.
Yes.
And the difference between Kickstarter and GoFundMe is you have a $5,000 goal, but it doesn't matter if you beat that or not. So if you give someone $50 on GoFundMe, that comes out of your bank account immediately and goes to them. Doesn't matter if they meet their goal. Doesn't matter if they don't meet their goal. It's literally like someone coming up to the street like, hey, can I have $50? I'm making an X. And you going, sure. And then giving them $50 and then walking away. Same rules apply. There's no guarantee they'll make anything. There's no guarantee anything.
That Fluffy will survive.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So that's GoFundMe. Fig is slightly different. Fig actually was started by a bunch of actually game developers. So Tim Schafer from Double Fine, I think a couple other people, like one of the guys from the people that make Rock Band or Guitar Hero, Harmonix, yeah. That's Psionics. That's different.
Totally different.
And a couple of other video game people actually made Fig, and along with some other folks. And Fig's actually kind of interesting because in theory, if a game, it's almost more of like almost an investment thing. Like, so I kickstarted this game through Fig, and I just paid him $20 to get the game. But if you put more money into it, you actually get like shares of that game, and in theory if a game hits huge, you can actually make money back. So it's actually almost more of an investment, or the potential to be an investment. I don't know if any of them have actually really paid back yet. Like, I don't follow it that closely, but Fig's a little bit different. They only do, like, their big thing is they only do a couple at a time too. Like, I think they go for a month and they only do like 2 or 3, but they've kickstarted some big games. Double Fine's put some big games through there. I want to say Pillars of Eternity 2 has gone through there. But they also help. One thing that they do that's really cool is they also help these developers market and publish their games. So Kickstarter, you're just giving some money and hoping that they can figure out the team that they're going to need to make this game successful. But Fig actually like has a marketing and promotion arm, which is cool. And then Patreon is something you guys have probably been seeing more and more lately. It's a lot of podcasters, but also some game developers, some artists, some streamers, and it's literally donations. But like my kid actually did a Patreon with his allowance for a guy that was doing a like tile-based role-playing game maker. So you could make a game like Link, and you paid him $5 a month, and what that got you was access to every build he did, how often he put one out. And he was putting out a new build of this thing once every week or two. But you see a lot of artists doing Patreons, a lot of podcasters doing Patreons, and you pay them, and it's like being a patron back in, kind of the Renaissance times where, artists made money not by selling paintings, but, a king would hire someone to be their court
jester
painter, and I mean, that's how the Sistine Chapel got painted was, he was a patron of, essentially the church.
Gotcha.
And, they hired him to do this. And so Patreon is a way for people to take, $5 from 100 people and make $500 a month to create their art or create their games or create their whatever. And then lastly, early access is probably something everyone's run across. And that, again, though, is kind of and people think a game makes early access and it's on Steam, or they see, I don't remember what the Xbox version of that's called, but Xbox has one too.
Or game, is that game
preview? Yeah. And, you come in and you pay like usually a discount, but not always a discounted price for a game. And then you can kind of provide feedback on development and kind of see how a game grows. And some games are in early access for 6 months. Some games are in early access for 2 or 3 years. Ark has literally been in early access for, I'm going to say,
Forever.
2.5 or 3 years now. Rust has been in early access for 2.5, 3 years now. PUBG is in early access right now.
Right.
So
that's only been early access, though, since
couple
like
months.
March.
And they're saying it's going to be out by the end of this
the
year
end
or
of the
early
year.
next year. So,
Perfect.
it just allows you to help shape a video game. But at the same time, there are games that go into early access that they do some stuff and it doesn't go right and they can't get the resources together or they run out of money or whatever.
walk
and,
away with your
you've
money.
got whatever game you bought at the first, but that game may never finish and may never come out of early access. So any of these different crowdfunding things have risk. And it's just up to you to look at them and look at, what's available now. And I mean, this is kind of the place where like Twitch streams or Mixer streams or any of those really can come in good, is find someone, it doesn't necessarily work for Kickstarter stuff, but early access, go find someone who's streaming that and see if it looks like something you'd enjoy. Look and see if there's depth to it before you actually plunk some money down, because there's also a lot of good games that are out and done that you can put money at. So, but there's some really innovative stuff coming. And I mean, that's the real bonus of these kind of things, and that people, the reason that it's awesome that these kind of things exist is because it enables people to make games that a AAA developer is never going to make. A game with a niche audience or, a really weird premise or, I mean, in the case of like Thimbleweed Park, like no one funds point-and-click adventure games anymore. And so you crowdsource it. A lot of Double Fine games are the same way. Even though Double Fine's they seem like a big company because they make a lot of games. Like, they don't, they've kickstarted Psychonauts 2. They kickstarted their point-and-click adventure game. I don't remember what that was, And, that's a way for these studios to make games that aren't mainstream and that, maybe only sell 100,000 copies or 250,000 copies instead of 1 million or 5 million or 10 million. So,
and I think that's exactly the games that crowdfunding should make. In the sense that you kind of have an ability to pull the interest of, is this game something people would play?
Yep.
And I don't think this should really be used for AAA ideas, right? Not that you don't want developers to be ambitious with setting a goal and being able to accomplish something, but we saw something like the Apocalypse Now game, which was...
They wanted like $6 million or
and
something
it was
ridiculous.
Huge, and it's like, how do you even expect to be able to develop something like that? And you should never expect that many people to donate that much money unless you really have real investors behind them.
Yeah, and that is one kind of final thing I would say about any of these, well, maybe not like early access, but any of the real crowdfunding kind of ways is look at what their goals are and kind of put in your head and look at what they say about things and say, is that amount of money they're asking for a reasonable amount? And like we've said this before, but Friday the 13th came out and people are like, oh my God, I can't believe this game's better. They had $600,000 worth of Kickstarter funding. And you're like, that's so much money.
That's enough to get you through like 15 seconds of gameplay.
Yeah. I mean, but first of all, these crowdfunding places take, I think, 15% off the top.
Yeah.
And so, right there, they're down to like $450,000. Anytime there's a physical reward, hey, so you paid $30 and you get a hat. They have to pay for the hat and the shipping for that hat to send it to you. And so they lose a ton of money off the top of these things. And then like developers cost a ton of money. Like, these are people that generally have, either 4-year degrees or, tons of experience in, developing things. Like, you don't buy a developer for $10 an hour. Like, developers make, $50,000 to $120,000 a year. So, like you get 2 of them and oh my God, you've shot your entire
budget,
Kickstarter wad. So think about that. Look if they've got alternate sources of funding. Look at, if they're expecting to do their entire thing through Patreon through Kickstarter, it better be like a guy or 2 guys,
Seriously.
It's hard. So think about that too.
All right. So there's that. There's your course on crowdfunding.
You asked for it.
Crowdfunding 101.
Right. Up next, did you get a Super Nintendo Classic from Walmart, an SNES Classic from Walmart? Because evidently...
You didn't.
You probably didn't.
Really?
Yeah, so I was watching a movie Friday night, ended at like 9, and I was like popping through Twitter, and like Twitter was abuzz, like, oh my God, Walmart put the SNES Classic on sale. I'm like, why? It's Friday night at midnight East Coast time. Why would you do this now? and they were up for, I'm going to say 25 minutes. And like, I was so disappointed because I like ran in there and I'm like, oh my gosh, they're still available. I hit the pre-order button and like did it. And my address was wrong. So I had to fix my address. And by the time I went to check out, they're like, oh, sorry, no more. I'm like, crap. I missed my my opportunity. And,
well,
I was kind of bummed.
Not really.
Yeah, and then they announced, I'm going to say yesterday, day before, that most of them, if not all of them, are getting canceled because Walmart, did it too early.
You think?
And I don't know if it was like an e-commerce glitch or but most people have had theirs canceled. So
yeah, we regrettably will have to cancel your item on this order. We know that this is incredibly disappointing to you, and we're truly sorry for this mistake. Thank you, Walmart.
But the pre-orders did happen on Amazon, though, correct?
I don't think so.
I don't think the pre-orders happened anywhere.
Yeah, I don't believe so.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I thought that happened because I
haven't gotten an email yet. And I'm supposed to get an email.
I had a Twitter exchange with Amazon, and they said, because someone in our chat was talking about the pre-orders going up and down on Amazon. Did that not happen?
I don't think that happened. Did you have a really good pre-order dream?
It's entirely possible.
Yeah, I don't believe so. I don't think so. I think we're still waiting. So I have not.
Because I talked
to
Amazon
as of 3
about
days
it already.
ago.
Yeah, as of 3 days ago.
Yep. So no, I don't think so yet.
I need to get out of the bottom of this.
Anyway, so keep your eyes open. If you really want to get an SNES Classic, make sure that you are signed up for alerts. Like Walmart may not now.
Yeah, they're probably gonna be like, nope, you're on your own.
Amazon will, Best Buy will, I think GameStop will.
Right.
So if you really want one, get in on all those places because they're making more this time around. Thank God. But
because of the situation they ran into with the NES Classic, where everybody wanted one, they were gone, and then they sold them for exorbitant amounts of prices through resellers. So if you missed your SNES Classic, if you pre-ordered and it got canceled, but you still want that NES Classic, you can do that.
Ugh.
Thanks to our friends at ThinkGeek.
So
did you? Yeah. So I was wondering if we're going to talk about this because this popped up yesterday or the day before.
Yesterday, day before.
And I'm going to go ahead and say this. Excuse me, Kevin. These guys are dick bags.
Yeah.
Like seriously, tools. They are dicks, and they should be slapped.
So if you aren't aware, I'm sure no one is going to be surprised. ThinkGeek is owned by the same wonderful people that own GameStop.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I see. I did not know this.
Yeah. So
all right,
coming from the lovely people that will happily sell you a Nintendo Switch for $600 with every pack-in and thing they could find in the store to sell you with. They're also happy to send you a NES Mini for what, $150, $160, $170?
They start at $140.
Yeah,
and that includes like.
Crap.
3 canvases. It says drink again from the nostalgia fire hose.
Yeah, and I mean it is literally just like the stuff that it comes with is cool. Like, don't get me wrong. They're
sold, and I think all these bundles are sold out anyway.
Yeah,
which is unfortunate that people spent upwards of $200 and what I think the highest
$220.
Yeah, $220. And don't get me wrong. I mean that's kind of a cool package, but it's stupid. Who needs a Mega Man blaster arm?
Hat. You'll walk into ThinkGeek and you'll go like, oh my God, that thing's so cool. Oh my God, that thing's so cool. And I guess if you wanted all of those things anyway, like, great, then buy these ThinkGeek bundles. But I don't know, between people buying these and, trying to resell them for $300 on eBay and places like ThinkGeek and GameStop creating these ridiculous Switch bundles and NES bundles, like, I'm just sick of this crap.
And this makes me wonder. So it says, drink again, blah, 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 blah. No, seriously, we found some about the whole NES Classic.
Where did they find them?
So makes me wonder if they purposefully held on to these.
Oh, absolutely. And
then created these bundles to, I mean, is that legal?
It's totally legal. But what I think's gross is that, like, Nintendo could stop this. Nintendo could go and say, hey, guys, if you ever want to see an SNES Classic bundle, sell those at retail. They can 100% do that. If you guys want to sell the Switch going forward, don't do these stupid bundles. Like, that is 100% within Nintendo's right. And yeah, and maybe you don't want to piss off GameStop, but it's not like GameStop is like a one-trick pony these days.
Yeah,
you know?
It's not like they're running the whole video game industry like they were 10 years ago.
Yeah, if anything, they're being less and less relevant every single day. Yeah. So, I don't know what the solution to this kind of crap is, but between, like, people are, oh my gosh, it's Nintendo purposely shorting things. And in the case of the NES Mini, that is 100% valid. They made a certain amount of them, and then they stopped. And the reason they said they did it was because it was getting in the way of Switch production. So, I guess you get to choose. You can have an NES Classic or you can have a Switch. You can't have both.
I have both.
Yeah, and that's a reality, though, is that, like, when you go to China and try and get things produced, there are only so many factories. And so, the iPhone takes away space from Androids, and they take space away from the Switch, and they take space away from the Nintendo. There's just only so many people and so many hours. So by taking out the Nintendo Mini, they can make more Switches. I don't think at this point in the game that Nintendo is purposefully not sending Switches over. I think they're making them as fast as they can. But between GameStop and their, crap and the reseller market, which is absolute crap, there's just none for normal people to go in and buy one. And that's incredibly lame.
And it bothers me that you have to deal with the resellers, the people that are actually buying them and then jacking up the price. Yep. That's one thing. That's to be expected with just about any kind of system or game or something that people are going to want.
Yeah.
That's one thing.
But is there something to have an actual that too?
No, I mean, that's going to happen. There's no way around that. That's just going to happen. But when it comes to a retailer as big as GameStop, it's like, why are you going to contribute to this problem? I get dollars. That's fine. I understand you want to make a buck, but it's like,
it's anti-gamer. Like, why would I want to shop
everything about it?
Why would I want to shop at GameStop when they're doing crap like that? That to me is the long and short of it.
I don't know if the microphone's picking Dylan drinking.
He's the loudest drinker in the world.
Gulping water out of his mug.
I got to drink a lot of water fast.
Obviously.
That's what he always tells me. Every time he does it, I'm like, what is wrong with you?
Anyway, there's that.
I guess the thing is, you go and buy a cell phone, and they tie that cell phone to your account, and there's a SIM that ties it to something. Like, I would be perfectly willing to do that if it meant it was easier to get a Switch. You know what I mean? Like, eliminate the reseller market by somehow tying your ID to your
hardware,
your hardware, and make it so you can't change that for 30 days or 60 days, or I don't know what the solution is, and that might seem intrusive and awful, but then I guess you can buy one for $400 off some creeper on Craigslist. I don't know.
Seriously.
I just think it's dumb that these are still this scarce, and I think it's dumb that GameStop and the reseller market is causing that.
I agree. Last bit of news real quick. Xbox One X pre-orders are opening soon, maybe, according to Phil Spenser. And
he seems like a guy that would know.
Yeah, I guess so.
Well, he's the head of Xbox, so
good for Phil.
If anyone was going to know, it would be Phil. But yeah, apparently the reason that pre-orders have not opened yet is that it still had to go through FCC certification. So yeah, it's the same reason that the Switches took a while. Like, they announced it and they didn't open pre-orders until like January, it seems like. It's because, like, you make a thing and then you have to send it off to the FCC to make sure, how they all have that sticker that says, like, this
FCC
device
compliant.
Yeah, this device will, accept all the interference but not give off any of that kind of crap. They test
I have no idea what any of those tags say. All I know is there's an FCC tag on it.
And so in order to get one of those tags, you have to send it in for FCC compliance. So it's all through that. It's all ready. The hardware's done. And they're probably just waiting for the right time to announce it. So, the theory is that Gamescom is next month, happens in August in Germany, I believe.
Yeah, sweet.
Huge international game conference. So wouldn't be shocking to hear the actual, well, I mean, we know the release date, but that pre-orders get opened up there. But it could happen before then too. So,
cool.
If that's your thing, I think you can also get I hope, God, I'm crossing my fingers, hope that the Xbox isn't as hard to get as other things have been, but
I think at the price point, I think you're going to be okay.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah. So, but you can get those pre-order alerts, but we'll let you know too when they open up. So that's pretty exciting for those of us that care.
Cool. All right, done with news. That's it. That was a long news segment.
News.
Yes, it was.
The funny thing is there like almost no news happening right now too.
I know.
We made our own news.
We really beat those topics to death. All right, moving on into our questions segment of the show, and first up, like every week,
hey yo, Vinny, how you doing?
every week. Well, not every week. Like a lot of times.
Almost every week.
He gets them to me early, but like when he hasn't gotten me a question yet, I hit him up on Facebook.
Like, hey, yo, Vinny.
Yeah, and it's always like, hey, Vinny, you got a questions for us this week?
You've got questions
You're
for
not
us?
allowed to do the accent ever again, Cliff.
All
Thank
right.
you.
I can type it, though.
You could.
You've got some question for us today?
Yeah, it's like that. He does.
His question is, what's a multiplayer only game that you think would make a great single player? What would you like the story to be about? A? He didn't put the A.
A?
He's
just
not
felt
Canadian.
for a minute.
He's from Massachusetts.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
I'm probably... what's that, a little bit, eh?
Hey,
Multiplayer only games.
Yeah.
I haven't done a whole lot of multiplayer only games. The only ones that I know of are like is Dota 2's all multiplayer.
Yeah, I don't think you could play that single player.
Yeah,
Those would
same
be
with-
real smart bots.
I wonder what like, is this a single player game? Like, if you turn this into a story driven,
If you turned a multiplayer only game into a story-driven single-player game.
Yeah. For me, I think I would love to. To me, there's probably two, and they're both MMOs. Oddly enough, when I played World of Warcraft, I effectively played it as a single-player game, and so like I think it would be awesome to have that world not filled with other obnoxious people. So
imagine how gorgeous it could be too.
right? Yeah. Like I loved World of Warcraft, and like I'd like team up with my brother sometimes, but you know, a lot of that I just played single player because he was so much higher of a level than I was, and it was great. It's great as a single player game, and if it meant I didn't have to pay $15 a month for it too, that'd be even better. Like I mean, literally, if they came up today and said like, hey, World of Warcraft is $60. You buy it, you get all the expansions, but you can't play it online. I'm like, all right,
Done.
Yeah, it would be a real easy decision for me. And I also would like to play Elder Scrolls Online the same way.
Never played that one.
It's really, really, really fun, but it's kind of ruined by the online nature of it. It spends a lot of time like pulling you out of the experience because, you know, you'll get a quest and they're like, oh my God, you're the savior. You're the only person that can ever do this thing. And then, like, the next guy comes up and here in the same room, and they're like, oh, my God, you're the only person that can do this thing.
That's ruined. That ruins it.
It really pulls you out of, like, the, like,
Wet blanket.
I'm the, you know, the savior of this thing quest because you can see the other people, you know, and I don't know, it seemed like they could have fixed that somehow, but yeah. ESO
like having it be a single player game.
Right, it really would have just been like Skyrim 2, which would have been fine. Like,
Fine.
So yeah, ESO is really fun, but like just constantly reminds you that you are in fact not special. So
What would you pick, Dylan?
You know, when you mentioned League of Legends, I'm wondering what that single player experience would be. I mean, there's such a rich lore with these crazy cool characters. Like, what would that game be?
I have to admit, like the reason I've never played a MOBA is because I hear the like difficulty curve is crazy high, and I don't want to be that guy
That ruins the whole
like
game.
that ruins the game for person after person after person after person. So,
But how cool?
It's not going to be you. It's going to be somebody else.
I'm wondering
it's
how
true.
cool this game would be if it was like an Elder Scrolls game or a Dragon Age or a Mass Effect, where it's a third-person RPG with. You could pick any one of those champions, the hundreds of champions in those MOBA games, whether it's Dota or I don't know the Dota champions, but like how cool would it be if you could pick any one of those and have the different stats and abilities and that those champions have, and then run through this world in this RPG type game? Like how
be cool.
cool would that be? And then that goes the same for turning Overwatch into a single player first person shooter. Pick the character and go through a storyline, or maybe
how cool would it be to take
go
like the
back in
storyline
time?
of Overwatch and make it into a single player game?
Yeah, and go back in time to when the Overwatch thing and how. I mean, I'm gonna get into the story.
Yeah.
What little I know about it.
I think it could be real fun.
I think there's a lot of fun experiences to be had playing out those storylines.
Yeah,
So-
I agree. I think the funny thing is there's so many like single player games. I'm like, oh man, I wish I could play this game multiplayer. And so many multiplayer games, like, man, I wish I could play this game single player.
Grass is always greener. On the
Right?
other side.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would. Since I've not done a whole lot of, I actually don't think I've ever played a multiplayer only game.
Yeah. There's
What
not a
about
lot of them.
Destiny?
Destiny's not a multiplayer
But it's
only.
kind of.
But I've
It's
played a single player and I don't
multiplayer.
want to play it that way.
It's
Yeah.
multiplayer suggested.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I guess in the sense that it's an MMO, though, right?
Yeah,
So
I mean, I
it's-
would love to play through actual stories about
yeah,
Destiny.
Like it would be if it was a linear. I mean, putting Destiny into a linear Halo like game.
Could be really
Like,
cool.
That could be.
I agree. Yeah.
But yeah, I would say I would be interested in seeing an Overwatch single player because that's the only, literally the only reason I haven't picked it up is my fear of doing to an Overwatch team what you were, Cliff, afraid of doing to a League team.
Yep.
So yeah.
Just get
That's
into
that.
it.
I know. I need
There's
to.
quick play.
There is. I know.
I'll get it again on PS4. I'll play with you.
Well, thank you, Vinny.
Yeah, it's a good one.
That was a
I like
good
that
one.
a lot.
Yeah, now I've got to play Overwatch to see what I'm missing. I keep saying that. I need to do it. I just need to. All right, and up next from Kevin. What up, fellas?
I'm a fella.
I love Kevin. If you could visit a location that's in a video game in real life, what game would you pick? More important, what is the name of said location and what makes you want to visit this place? Thank you in advance.
Nah,
Yes.
very polite.
Yeah, he's such a nice guy.
Yeah.
A location in a video game. I've got so many that I would want to go to.
I guess the caveat beforehand is there's a lot of places I'd like to visit, but I also don't want to die.
Yeah, I don't want to go to San Andreas.
Yeah, like
No?
I think like the Fallout 4 universe and the Fallout 3 universe are all amazing, and they're so deep. And I mean, like Fallout 4, I'm
But you're dead.
35 hours into that game, and I've barely played any of the story because I just like to wander around and find like cool artifacts and like interpret the like wacky little stories that like almost every place you go into Fallout 4 is like a vignette. You know,
Yeah.
There were like I will never forget there was this like this just throwaway story, like it was not part of a quest, was not part of anything, and you found like this note from this girl who had been like, and you found her, you know, because you find dead people all over in that game. There's just you know skeletons everywhere, and you found this dead girl on this you know little cot not far from where you start the game. And you know, based on like notes and stuff in her room, you find out that she had been kicked out of her house by her parents for getting pregnant. And so she went and she knew like where this like forest ranger cottage was, and she like had come there as a kid, so she knew she could go stay there, and that's where she was. You know, this all happened within, you know, presumably the last couple of days when the bomb went off and killed everyone. And so like it's this like strange, sad little vignette of, you know, this girl who never got to, you know, see her parents, and they all died horribly. You know, and you know the last thing that happened to them is that you know they kicked her out of the house, and that world is full of those stories, and it's so fun to explore. But I also don't want to get eaten by like a giant radioactive crab, so you know, I guess with caveats, Fallout 4 would be a lot of fun.
Yeah. I would like to live in The Witness.
Oh, geez.
Just because.
On the flip side, like every time I need to go home, I'm like, oh, damn, what's the puzzle to unlock the front door? How do I start my car?
Well, I think I would like it just because, A, it's beautiful.
Oh, it's so pretty, though.
I wouldn't have to deal with any other people ever. And I would finally be able to figure out all those puzzles that require you to stand in a very specific space to see how the trees are.
Right.
And I would be able to see it for real.
See, that's why you should play Rime, because Rime, like graphically, reminds me a ton of The Witness. It's just that very, like,
and I think
stark, bright, gorgeous trees. Like, I think you'd like it.
I think Rime is going to end up being more along the lines of what I thought Witness was going to be, because I thought Witness was going to be more of an environmental puzzle.
You didn't
kind of
realize
thing.
there was 450 line puzzles you were going to have to solve to turn on some lasers.
I thought it was something totally different. But
I love The Witness, but The Witness is one of those games that I need to like find a couple people that I can sit down with for like an hour a night for like the next 6 years.
Oh, hey, you know, we were talking about what we're gonna do.
Yeah, maybe that's one of our Extra Life games, because I got, I don't know, maybe 50, 60, 80 puzzles in that game. I'm like, this is great.
My brain hurts.
My brain hurts. Yeah. Like, I think that'd be the perfect like couch co-op that isn't actually co-op game to like sit down like, oh no, try this. Oh no, I found the answer to this one, because I'm not smart enough to solve them all by myself.
What world do you want to live in?
I think I want to go to the Super Mario 64 castle.
Oh,
yeah.
Right? I want to jump through those paintings and go grab the penguins. And
still fall into the fire.
Yeah.
Like Hyrule might be a kind
I think
of
there's a lot.
cool
There's like a lot
too.
of crazy, dangerous stuff, like plants that are just going to come out of tubes and eat you. Like it's a weird
like,
place to
like,
traverse.
There's nowhere in this world besides Mario that has more open lava.
Yeah, that's just not a problem that we.
I've lived my entire life. I'm almost 40, and I've never seen lava.
Never seen it.
Oh yeah,
I've never been to Hawaii, so
Hawaii is about the only place that you can go. Hey, let's go see lava.
But like in Mario, like you might
It's
just
everywhere.
be walking down the street like, oh crap, lava.
I'm gonna jump over that. Luckily, I think I'm a little taller than Mario. I think I can. I
You
might
can
be
do
able
the
to.
Luigi floaty
I
jump.
might be able to step over the obstacles.
You do really
that-
have more of a Wario kind of look to you. That kind
Waluigi.
maybe
Waluigi.
Waluigi.
You two,
Waluigi.
seriously, for Halloween, Mario and Luigi.
I think he just called me short and fat.
No, I think we need you in there too. We,
Yeah,
we
I
need
could
one
be
more
like-
person.
I'll be-
I can be
You can be
Waluigi.
Toad.
I'll be Princess Peach.
Oh God. Can we make
I
this
think we
happen?
just found our costumes.
I want this to happen so
Yes.
bad.
It's going to be so good. Uh-huh.
The cast is all here.
I love this so much.
Oh, God.
That's a hard question though. There's so many.
Yeah,
thing
there's
is,
a lot of places.
The thing is, most video games are based on some sort of danger and survival. So
I tell you, like, there's a lot of places I want to go visit with the caveat of me being like, I need God mode for all my
Yeah,
traveling.
yeah, because then I would definitely go to The Witcher.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
would
right?
go
Oh.
to Crackdown. I think that would be fun. Saints Row.
Stillwater.
What, Saints Row 4?
Oh, I want Saints Row 4. I call that one.
Yeah, I think that would
is
be
it
fun.
Stillwater throughout all the games? Is that what it's called?
I think so. So.
Oh, yeah.
Either
wonder
way,
if
I
they
just
changed
want
the
all
city at
those
some point or
awesome
not.
like superhero powers, but also to be invincible.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I would check out Super Meat Boy. Don't know
You
why.
need to be invincible for that.
Yeah.
On the flip side, like Super Meat Boy, there's just like piles of blood and gore
Right.
everywhere with all these saws.
That would be fun.
I love it.
I like it.
That sounds real dangerous.
Real dangerous.
Thanks for that, Kevin.
Good.
All right, so that's that. We're going to cover some cheap free games, and there's quite a few because PlayStation Plus just released
Yeah, it's a
all
good
their
month.
stuff. It's a really good month.
It's a really good month.
Dylan's walking out the door, presumably to go to the bathroom. And he's gone.
All right.
I guess we're gonna
we'll talk
continue
about
on.
cheap free games. I don't know what that was.
First up, Xbox games with gold.
Yeah, so there's some good stuff this month. We got starting August 1st, we've got Slime Rancher and Bayonetta, which only sucks because I bought Bayonetta like 3 weeks ago.
Wow,
but
yeah.
I bought it on the PC, so presumably my copy of Bayonetta will be better than the backwards compatible Xbox 360 version.
Mm-hmm.
But I've heard great things about Bayonetta. It's super weird, and like I don't know if this is like a culturally appropriate thing to say, but it's very Japanese.
Oh, yeah.
Just in that kind of weird way that Japanese video games are. So that Slime Rancher is really fun. That I actually saw that for the first time at ID at Xbox last year. It's just this weird game where you literally raise slimes. You have this gun where you can like suck them up and shoot them different places, and it's really cute. It'll be a great game to play with your kids if you've got kids.
That's cool.
So that's fun. Trials Fusion, which comes out the 16th and runs through September 15th, is like one of my favorite games of all time.
Okay.
Which is weird because it's like a motorcycle racing game, and I don't like those kind of things usually. But you are just a dude on a dirt bike, and you start out on pretty easy courses with just some sort of normal jumps, and then as the game progresses, they get harder and harder and harder and harder until it gets to the point where like you have to complete this level in less than a half hour, and you have to die less than 100 times.
Did this come out on the PS?
It's been out for years. There's versions on the Xbox. There's actually made an iOS game that was part of it. It's made by Red Links.
Wow.
It's really, really, really dumb fun. I actually played it the other day with my kid. There's kind of a multiplayer version of it. It's not great, but it's okay where you can race against each other. And like there's all these wacky motorcycles you can ride on. And the other day we actually raced against each other on unicorns, and then the rider is a cat with a gun.
Okay.
So, and there's a ton of DLC. They're tons of fun. I used to play them all the time actually with my brother, where we'd play them single player and like go until you couldn't get past a place, and then we'd switch controllers and someone else would try, and then you'd switch control. It was real fun. I highly recommend Trials. And then Red Faction Armageddon, which I have not played, August 16th through the 31st. That's a backwards compatible Xbox 360 game that I've heard is good. I've heard the Red Faction series
I love
is
the
great.
Red Faction
You've played
games.
it?
I don't remember if I played this one.
But you've played them.
There's a lot in the series at this point.
Oddly enough, that's actually the most expensive of the 4 games this month is the backwards compatible Xbox 360 game. So.
I don't know how they've changed over the years. They used to be like open world, completely destructible environments.
That's what I remember being
kinda
big
game.
destructible environments.
And then, which was incredible on like the PS2.
Yeah, right.
And then I think they became more of a kind of linear, not super linear, but third person action, or I think third person but so they still were able to have some destructible environments, but it wasn't so open world. But
yeah, it definitely looks
fun.
fun.
On Mars or something.
Oh, I like Mars. Mars is cool.
Mars is fun.
It looks really cool. It looks like you've got all sorts of groovy powers.
Not the God of War, but
no, the planet.
The planet.
It looks awesome. Like the bad guys look great, the powers look great, the guns look great. So I don't know, give it a try. It's free. Who cares, right?
Seriously.
Anyway,
oh, did you? Oh, okay. Sorry, that was all of them. Sorry, I thought we still had another one.
We got it.
My bad. PlayStation Plus just came out, or didn't come out today, but they let us know what's coming out
today.
next month, and I'm very excited.
So this comes out. These will be available. My calendar is on the wrong month.
I think it's going to be on Tuesday
the 2nd. So this actually comes out. Like sometimes you have to wait for those games. So yeah, this should be out on the 1st. Actually, Tuesday the 1st.
Oh yeah,
yeah. So that's kind of cool. So you get a full month to download these ones.
And I am excited about this one, Just Cause 3.
Right? That's a pretty new game.
Yeah, it's about 2 years. No, it's a year and a half
old.
Yeah, year and a half. And it's a very, very sandboxy, open world kind of.
I've heard it's like playing like a Michael Mann movie. It's just full of explosions.
Michael Bay?
Whatever. There's probably a very, very different thing.
Yes.
There's grappling hooks and bombs and
craziness.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
And
I hear it's
paragliders and
yeah.
You can do anything.
I've not played any of them, but I've heard
enormous.
Yeah.
At least I've only ever played I think I played the first 2. Actually,
I played the first part of 2 and like couldn't get into it, but I think it was probably more me than it. So, but it just looks dumb. And fun.
It looks really fun.
I like it.
I don't think I ever traversed the whole map. I don't think I ever played it enough to actually explore everything.
I'm excited to try that one though. It was a game that came out, like you said, December 2015, and one I really wanted to try and just got kind of caught up in Christmas and whatever, and never got around to it. So it's good.
Cool. Another one is Assassin's Creed Freedom Cry.
I've never heard of the game.
Well, I want to say that it started off as a DLC for Black Flag. Was that
the pirate one?
Yeah, I think it started off as that, but then it became its own kind of thing, and then they pushed it out a little while after.
Yeah, it definitely looks like there's pirates and ships, so I'm down.
You play one of the people who found freedom as a pirate. Yeah, as a pirate or something.
Excellent. Yeah. No, I thought I'd heard of all the Assassin's Creed game. That one just apparently
they've got
passed
like
me
11
by.
of them.
11
or 12 I don't know. But it looks like it could be cool.
Yeah.
Because I do like the Assassin's Creed games, even though I've only played a handful of them and never finished one.
I think that's the thing. Like Assassin's Creed's one of those games. Like I'm in the mood for that kind of game, and I'll step into it and play for I think I've played every Assassin's Creed game for like an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Which is fine.
So there's that. Then there is That's You.
Yeah, that's that.
Is that the one we talked about?
Yeah, that game we talked about last month. The kind of
it's a free-to-play party game.
Free-to-play party game. Yep.
Super Motherload for the PS3.
Never heard of it.
Never ever heard of it. What is this even about? I don't know. Super Motherload.
Could be good.
Well, they're unable to find that page at the PlayStation Store currently.
Well, that's a great sign.
Lots of games right now you can't find on the PlayStation Store, according to what I'm clicking.
I think
through.
that might just be you. Super Motherload looks like I don't even know.
That's fine, because who's still rocking the PS3 other than me?
I got one. It's real weird looking. I don't know. It looks. I literally, based on the screenshots, I couldn't even tell you what kind of game this is, but that's all right.
All right. Snake Ball as well on the PS3. Which do you remember the old Snake game on the Nokia phones?
Yes.
Is this like Snake?
It's like Snake.
Is this like Snake Rattle and Roll?
Is it really?
It's like Snake, but it's in a 3D environment.
Like so, I can get my Nokia on.
Yeah, in 3D.
Huh. All right, I'm down.
Yeah, according to what I read about it earlier.
All right, that'll work.
Yeah, my computer's not doing stuff.
Yeah, I think our internet went down.
Stupid internets.
Oh, well.
Do you guys remember Snake Rattle and Roll?
You've talked about it more than once, and no, I don't. Yeah,
I don't think
so.
I've ever brought Snake
Rattle
and Roll up. But, yeah, it was I think it was an NES game.
Huh. All right.
Interesting.
But
I don't remember.
It was developed by Rare. It's a Nintendo game.
Oh, no, I do know what you're talking about.
And it featured music inspired by Shake, Rattle, and Roll, as well as other 1950s era oldies. And you play as, it features 2 snakes, Rattle and Roll.
Of course.
Oh, well, how original.
The object in each level is to eat enough nibbly bibblies.
Nibbly bibblies, you say?
Nibbly pibblies.
Is that literally what they're saying? Okay.
It's in quotations. That's quoted.
Well, I cannot wait to try that on the 12th.
Nice.
Never.
That's not the game.
Downwell.
No, yeah. Snake Ball looks interesting.
That was a tangent.
Yeah. All right. So we got Downwell.
Downwell and level 22 if you were rocking that Vita, which I currently am.
I tried to buy one today. We'll see how it goes. Downwell actually looks really interesting. I've heard of this before. Now that I think about it, so yeah, it's a Devolver Digital published game. It's actually pretty recent too. Yeah, it came out in 2015. It's supposed to be really fun. It's kind of cartoony, and it's literally about you fall down this well and try and stay alive as you fall down. It's got great reviews on Steam though, so definitely worth a shot if you've got a Vita.
Yeah, for sure. And then the Humble Bundle, not this month. It's just the new Humble Bundle.
Level?
Right?
Did we talk level 22?
Level 22.
Yeah, another Vita game.
There you go.
Yeah, it's got kind of crappy ratings on Metacritic. So
Can't wait.
Gary is an office worker who oversleeps after a drunken night out of the town. I don't know. He's got to get to work before everyone else notices him. That could be fun. Humble Bundle.
Humble Bundle. Yeah, I know. I'm excited about it. That's why I skipped over level 22.
It's real good.
It's the Saints Row Bundle.
Yeah, so it's a bunch of games.
And this is
published
different from the monthly Humble Bundle.
Yeah. This is actually just you can go buy one. Yeah, monthly Humble Bundle this month is good. It's a basketball game and or for August is a basketball game. I don't remember which one. And Pillars of Eternity, I want to say, which is something I've really wanted for a while. So, but yeah, no, this is a Saints Row Bundle. It's actually a bunch of games published by Deep Silver, I believe. So there's some good stuff. You want to tell us?
So in the $1 tier, if you pay $1 or more, you can get Risen 3 Titan Lords Complete Edition, Deadlight Director's Cut, Homefront, and Saints Row 2, which Saints Row 2 was the first Saints Row I played.
That's also the first Saints Row I played.
Yeah. So that's if you pay $1. If you pay more than the average of $5.20, you also unlock Saints Row the Third, Saints Row Gat Out of Hell, Mighty Number 9, and Killer is Dead Nightmare Edition. And they're going to actually add to that tier in about 5 more days by the end of the week.
Yeah, so if you buy it now, you'll still get access to those games. But Mighty Number 9 is the Mega Man game that was,
the Mega Man.
Yeah, supposed to not be so great, but
I
whatever.
still want to play it.
Yeah, me too. Saints Row 3 is phenomenal. I love the crap out of that game. I've not played Gat Out of Hell, so I might buy this for that. We'll see.
Yeah, $15 or more, you will unlock all of those previous games, plus Saints Row 4, Game of the Century Edition, Saints Row the Third, the full package, Homefront, the Revolution Standard Edition, whatever that might be, and Saints Row Gat Out of Hell Devil's Workshop Pack.
Yeah, a lot of good Saints Row.
Right?
It is.
There's a lot.
There's a lot of stuff.
There's even another tier, though.
Yeah.
If you pay $75 or more to pre-order Agents of Mayhem, you get everything.
It kind of cracks me up because it's like, just pay $60 more at the full price of a game,
right,
and you get this other game.
Yeah,
right.
Which is, whatever.
That's how they do the thing. I don't understand what Agents of Mayhem
looks
is.
Awesome.
It looks real cool.
It's the new game from the guys that made Saints Row.
But is it?
It's set in the Saints Row universe, but is not a Saints Row game.
But is it a multiplayer game? Is it a first-person open world?
I think it's a
open world third-person action game.
Third-person action.
Well, thanks for being able to read.
I think it's co-op multiplayer, so it looks really fun.
It seems like maybe kind of Crackdown-y.
Yeah,
it looks like a mix of Crackdown and Saints Row.
Saints Row.
Yeah, I'm very, very excited about it.
Are you going to pay the $75 Humble Bundle?
No.
I mean, but I'm very interested in this game.
But I mean, I could buy it retail for $60 too, so I don't save anything by doing it.
It's like you're not saving anything.
I might buy this. If I do, I probably will just pay the average because I already own Saints Row 4 a bunch of different ways. So
I only own Saints Row 4. That's the only one I've got.
Yeah, I'd kind of like.
I don't
to
have
try,
any of this.
I kind of want to try Mighty Number 9 for $5. So we'll give it a go. It could be good. Yeah, if you've never played a Saints Row game though, like they're terrible. I mean, like terrible in the
most
you will be
perfect
so
way.
If you are easily offended, you will be offended over and over and over and over and over again.
It's amazing.
But oh my God, they're fun. Saints Row 4 in particular.
Did anybody play Homefront?
I have not. I've heard it's really good though.
It looks fantastic.
I've heard people enjoy that game. I
I
think it had lukewarm reviews from critics, but I think the players enjoyed it more.
So you're going to pay the $5 tier, or you're going to pay the $15?
I'll probably pay the $5 tier. Yeah. I have so many games.
He's not a Homefronter.
Yeah, I don't know. And I mean, I don't know. There's so much there. So there's that.
There is that.
There is that. Are we done?
I think we're done.
Holy crapstick. That's perfect. Perfect timing.
Nailed
I've got
it.
other work I need to do.
I'm going to go home. It's commute
you
time.
suck.
Yeah, I'm going to go home too.
Yeah.
You
Maybe
both
play
suck.
some
I don't come in at 10 o'clock in the morning.
Neither do I. I come in at 10:15.
Oh.
Jesus.
I'm going to play some Biggio games.
I want to play some video games.
Video games?
I've got some. Yesterday for dinner, I put this beautiful pork roast thing in the crock pot.
Ew.
And you don't eat meat.
Well, that's
sorry.
all right. No, that
But
sounds great.
Soy sauce and garlic and honey and pepper flakes and Worcestershire sauce
And Dylan came over and ate it out from under you.
And what?
I've eaten meat in the past, and that sounds absolutely delicious.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
And then Kevin suggested we go out for Taco Tuesday. And I was like, yeah, let's get all our friends involved. So we set up all this stuff with all these people. And I'm like, oh, crap. I forgot. I've got a pork in the... So we're having that tonight.
Nice.
It's
So I'm looking forward to that.
It keeps well.
I'm making falafel.
Can I come over?
Amazon Fresh does like meal kits now, like Blue Apron and Plated, which just makes this sound like any podcast you listen to now because we're talking about Blue Apron and Plated. But
they're not a sponsor.
They're not a sponsor. I just happen to buy them.
Right.
But if you'd like to sponsor us, really give us a call.
Yeah.
We'll be talking to you soon.
and yeah, tonight's is falafel
night.
Right? Yeah, I'm excited. Anyway.
I hope you don't feel awful after you eat it.
Oh, that's bad. Go home.
All right, so follow us on all the social medias. Bite Me Podcast. That's BYTE Me Podcast. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Mixer, and our website, bitemepodcast.com.
Yeah, I'm going to start doing like Wake Up with I don't know my own name. Wake Up with Cliff Mixer streams, probably between like 6 and 7 a.m. Pacific time. So if you're on the East Coast, those are perfect for you.
You're right.
I'm going to stream at the exact same time and compete for his viewers. So.
Why don't you just both
competition is
stream
healthy.
We play the same game.
And stream the same game in the same Mixer channel. That way nobody loses.
Yeah, check it out. I think I'm going to do like Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, probably starting next week. So.
That's a commitment.
Maybe I'll do Tuesdays.
But I wake up and play video games
Thursdays.
that time anyway. It's just a matter of hitting stream.
Like clicking a button.
Yeah, it's not that much harder.
Anyway, yeah, so find us, follow us, like us, share us, tweet us, all of that stuff.
It's good.
Yeah. Bite me. Okay.